Hey everyone, and welcome. Today, we're going to talk about something that can be, a little stressful for homeowners getting all your documents ready for a home appraisal. But don't you worry, we're going to make this super simple.
So you get that call, the appraiser is coming, and suddenly that little knot of anxiety starts to form in your stomach, right? You want to get the best possible value for your home, and the last thing you want is to feel like you forgot something crucial. It's like a pop quiz you can't study for.
But what if I told you there's a way to feel totally in control? A small, organized stack of paperwork can make a huge difference. And I want you to think about it this way. We're not just doing paperwork, we're building your home's brag book. It's a portfolio that tells the unique story of your property. So, where do we even begin? Let's start with what you need right at the beginning, for the appointment itself. Having these key docs ready to go just makes everything so much smoother from the get-go. Okay, let's open up to Chapter 1 of our brag book. I call this section your property's ID. These are the absolute must-have basics that kind of prove, yep, this is the property, and it's the perfect place to start. First up, you'll want to have the property deed or title. Super straightforward, this just proves you're the current owner. And right alongside that, go ahead and grab a recent property tax bill. This little piece of paper is great because it has the official tax info and parcel numbers the appraiser needs to verify. Now, you might be thinking, wait a minute, can't the appraiser just look this stuff up themselves? And, you're right, they can. But by handing them copies right up front, you're making their job easier, you're clearing up any potential confusion, and you're just speeding up the whole process. It's a win-win. All right, with the ID covered, let's move on to the next chapter in our brag book, the official blueprint. This section is all about defining the nuts and bolts of your property, its physical and legal boundaries. If you happen to have a property survey or a plat map, that is incredibly helpful. It shows the exact property lines, any easements, the whole shebang. Floor plans are also a fantastic bonus if you've got them. Oh, and this is a big one. If you're part of an HOA or condo association, you definitely need to provide those documents. The fees and rules can absolutely influence your property's value. Okay, now we are getting to my favorite part. Seriously. This is the section where you have the most power to really help the appraisers see the full value of your home. This is your chance to shine. I really can't say this enough. Documenting all the work you've put into your home is probably the single most impactful thing you can do. See, an appraiser can see you have a beautiful new kitchen, but they can't see how much it cost or that it was permitted correctly or the quality of the materials you used. That's where your documentation comes in. So how do you do it? It's easy, I promise. Step 1, just make a simple list of all the major improvements. Jot down what you did, when you did it, and what it cost. Step 2, back that list up. Gather up all the receipts and invoices you can find. Step 3, for any of the big jobs like an addition or a major electrical update, you'll want to include the permits and the final inspection papers. And finally, step 4, don't forget records for things like a new roof or HVAC system. It all adds up. And here's a little pro tip for you, one that a lot of people miss. If you have any active home warranties for your big systems or appliances, include that info. It really speaks to the home's condition and shows that things are well maintained. All right, we are in the home stretch now. Let's talk about the finishing touches that will really complete the picture of your home's value, plus one last super important tip. So let's tackle a question I hear all the time. Homeowners always ask me, do I need to go out and find my own comps, comparable sales to prove what my house is worth? It's a source of a lot of stress for sure. And the short answer is nope, but you can definitely help. See, it's the appraiser's official job to pull and analyze the comparable sales. That's what they're trained for. Your role is just to provide some helpful context. So if your real estate agent has a list of recent sales they think are really similar, it's great to share that. It's helpful info, not a requirement. And just to round things out, consider grabbing some recent utility bills. This is especially useful if you've done things like install new energy-efficient windows. You could also include your homeowner's insurance declarations page. Again, not always required, but these little things help paint a much fuller picture. Whew! Okay, that was a lot, right? So let's just do a quick recap of our brag book. You've got your identification docs to speed things up. You have the layout docs to define the property. You have the upgrade section, which is just so important for supporting your value. And then you have the supporting info to provide that extra bit of helpful context. See? It all makes sense when you lay it out like this. We've gone through all these documents, all these different pieces of paper, but after all of that, what is the single most important piece of advice I can give you? It's this simple. When in doubt, just ask. Honestly, every situation is a little bit different. A quick call to your lender or even the appraiser's office ahead of time is the absolute best way to make sure you have exactly what they need. No guessing required.
So remember that brag book we talked about? At the end of the day, that's what this is all about. You're not just handing over a boring pile of papers. You are presenting a clear, compelling story about your home and all the care and value you've poured into it. If you go into it with that mindset, you're going to be in great shape.